feel what's happening is it's actually like there's a birth of a new culture, and the culture will dominate, I feel, like globally.
I'll describe the current creative revolution. I think young people are leading it, to be honest. I think young people from minorities are leading it. I think the LGBTQ plus community are leading it. Black people are leading it. And I think that at the forefront are really creating tangible change, because people can't, I don't know, everyone's just out here existing loudly as themselves.
Powerful and very, very, how should I say, it's looking very vigorous in terms of everyone coming in numbers, everyone started to appreciate everyone's craft, and there's a lot of opportunity out there in the UK, especially in London.
Oh my gosh, I like to, it's a bit of a sticky one still. I like to take little bits of information to create a bigger picture. I feel like that sounded very vogue. What do you think? I don't know, maybe take that out, I don't know. Don't know how I feel about it.
More important to just be yourself and be unique, because that's the best thing you can do right now in terms of standing out from the crowd and setting your own platform up, really, yeah.
I think the running theme through my life is me being true to myself, and all the choices I make kind of reflect that. So even with starting Female Muslim Creatives, that was something that I was passionate about, and then that when I spoke up about, I realised that other people were passionate about sharing their own creativity and not being bound by limits of faith or gender.
When these people see you and they see the light in you, they will want to eat you. Do you know what I mean? You can't get eaten up by this thing. You have to know who you are. So it's incredibly important to be yourself, but it's also incredibly important to know who you are.
I like the boats you can get along the Thames. They're relaxing and they're not as packed as the train. But you can't go to many places.
My work predominantly is telling stories. So where I'm from is always going to affect what I do, because I'm telling stories. So telling a lot of my stories revolve around where I've been brought up and my friends, and what school I went to and who I met, and what it was being the only black girl in the classroom. So where I'm from has influenced my story.
Because I'm from Kent, I was always looking at everyone in London and thinking, I want to be there kind of thing, everything's happening in London. I think that people from outside of London think it's really crazy here and they just can't imagine coming here kind of thing.
That's kind of where I started the whole brand, really, because I couldn't afford to buy the clothes that I wanted when I was younger. And I love fashion, so it was that's what got me into fashion even more, not being able to afford it. We wanted to be a part of it even more, so I started learning how to design on the side. I got a job to get clothes, and then that's how the brand kind of started. So my environment is what caused my brand to come around, basically.
Well, in a way, I feel like I'm from the hood, so in a way, what I want to do is just escape from it, so it keeps my motivation to keep on making content so I can get through those doors, if that makes sense.
A notebook with a blue pen, white paper, and writing things down. That's the most powerful thing. With that, I can make anything happen. Anything.
I think young creatives are going to be the people that are going to change the world. I think that more young people need to be aware of their creative. I think people get told, that you have to go down one route, and it's never the creative route, especially for what I found with a lot of young black people. They feel like they have to choose one or the other and don't actually realise that they've got so much creative juices within them, and it takes one person to unlock that for them.
We had people who were once young creatives who inspired us, who have now, some of them are past, some of them are still with us, some of us are not what we believe they were, but that energy is there. And that's the most important thing. You have to take that energy and you have to work with it.
That's the only thing that's been changing the world forever. Since time began, it's always been young creatives. It's always been people that have had the confidence in their own abilities, and despite what other people say in terms of because people don't, even nowadays, people don't think that you can make a career out of being an artist or being a musician or being a writer. But I think it takes people really just ignoring all of other people's opinions and walking in their own truth.
Yeah, I think we can, because like I said before, we already kind of determine what everyone else is doing, what the big brands and stuff are doing. So if we're already doing that, then I feel like we can make an impact on the world more.
Seeing now that we are like the future and they're trying to invest in us way more. Look at Gucci making their collections more tailored to, like, working with Dapper Dan as well. Who else is there? Louis Vuitton getting Virgil, and that just shows you that they're now realising that we are the future and trying to invest into us even more now. So yeah.